What up, y'all? This is Tracy from Nerd Squish, and today we are once again rating and harshly judging werewolf designs. Welcome back, my nerdy creatures of the night. You have clawed your way back to the darkness for the fourth installment in my rating werewolf design series, and man oh man, does it feel good to be back.
I knew it would come to this.
Yes, but did you know it was going to be so sexy?
It's been a while since we have judged werewolf designs, over a year in fact, which is wild to say out loud. So, dust off your silver canes and prepare your inner critic, because today we're gonna talk about the good, the bad, and the downright mangy. So grab your drink of choice, whether it's a nice cold beer, it's a Capri Sun, it might be a Christmas Sprite, I don't know. Grab your drink of choice because we're gonna have fun today. Oh, that's really good. And for those that need a reminder of how we judge these hairy beasts, here is our rating scale. First and foremost, we got a full moon. Now, if you get one of these bad boys, you are absolute perfection and you deserve a cheers. Now, if we got a quarter moon, we're just a little less than perfect. Good, not great. If you get a crescent moon, you're, a little bit better than terrible. And if you get a new moon, you get a silver bullet, because this is just not good. And with that, we are up to date on the rating system, so without further ado,
guess it's time to get wolfy, huh?
starting off this list with 2014's Wolves, a severely underrated coming-of-age werewolf story where we have your boy Caden Richards, who discovers that he's a werewolf and he's adopted. Now, he believes that he murdered his parents in a wolfy fit of rage and runs away from home, discovering this drama-filled town where he learns more about his werewolf heritage. Lucas Till plays our main character brilliantly in some of the best werewolf makeup that I have ever seen, and we've also got your boy Jason Momoa playing this evil werewolf in a role that honestly I think he was born to play. These werewolves were brought to life by the super talented Dave Elsey, who also worked on and alongside Rick Baker on the 2010 Wolfman. So you know that this dude, he knows how to make epic werewolves. Him and his team did a lot of work to make each werewolf in this film unique and also bring their human characteristics to the final wolf design. Basically, this design is the perfect blend of human and wolf made with practical effects, so you know what that means. We're starting off this list with a full moon rating. Oh my god, I almost spilled that on Frankenstein. It's the beast of Casa de Nerd Squish. It's here. Ugh. Next up, we have 2025's The Wolfman. I have said my piece about this werewolf design in trailer and movie reviews, but I have not spoken about it in one of these werewolf design rating videos, so here we are, yet again. In January of 2025, Universal Pictures made a dumb decision. They delivered a movie with the title The Wolfman and proceeded to give us whatever this is, and thought that we were gonna be okay with this design. And here's the thing, the movie isn't necessarily bad. Give this movie any other title, an original concept and story, and it's actually kind of interesting. But instead you give us a movie that has a title with a legacy of beautiful lycanthropic makeup by the likes of Jack Pierce and Rick Baker, and then you also advertise that you're gonna give us practical effects, and this is the best that you can do? I'm not sure if this is how you say his name, but Arjun Tootin is the man behind this design, and for this he should be arrested. I'm all about doing something different, just not this. Because this is apparently a world where a werewolf curse means you somehow lose hair and simultaneously really need braces. I almost gave this some extra bonus points because of the scene with the practical effects of the transformation, but then I remembered the horrendous thing that is the final result, and I decided, you know what, we're putting a silver bullet straight to this design. New Moon. Next up, we have the UK version of Being Human. I love and am a huge fan of the US version of Being Human, but I absolutely hate the werewolf design. Everyone's been telling me for years to watch the UK version, and I finally did this year, and I gotta say, the werewolf design is so much better. Every second of the transformation and the final werewolf is practical and beautifully designed by Rob Mayer and Millennium FX. Now, that being said, I'm going to admit that the werewolf design was the only thing that I liked in this version of Being Human because I just could not get into it. The cast and the story just didn't hit the same as the US version for me, and for some reason, every time Mitchell goes vampy, you just hear this eagle screech. Now, I don't know if that's like the future shining down and like telling us that the American version is gonna come out and let freedom ring. I don't know, but it was so distracting. Anyway, we're not here to judge this show and make a bunch of people mad, which I'm sure I've already done with my statements, but what we're here to do is judge this werewolf design, which is like a traditional idea of a bipedal werewolf. It's beautiful, I love it, we're giving it a full moon. Up next we have 2005's Cursed. The director behind some of the greatest horror movies of all time, like A Nightmare on Elm Street and Scream, Wes Craven, did his take on werewolves. And honestly, I know the movie's kind of cheesy. It's got its issues. It was a box office flop. I love it. This is the type of werewolf cheese that I just kind of live for. I think it's a very enjoyable and fun movie. However, this movie and design has a disgusting amount of terrible CGI, which is disappointing because the original design had the mastermind of Rick Baker, but due to all the reshoots and the changes, Baker left, and we were left with this mishmash production that led this movie to live up to the title of Cursed. But let's back it up here. Let's look behind the CGI. Because if we look at the actual design, ignoring the CGI, I like the look of this werewolf. It's got kind of one of the designs that I really like. We're on two legs, we're hairy. It's cool looking. And on top of that, there are a few fleeting, but there are a few moments where you see the practical werewolf suits, and they're really, really cool, and it's honestly a shame that we didn't get more of this in this movie. And on that note, one of my favorite scenes in werewolf cinema is from this movie. We have a werewolf in a full body practical suit flipping you off, giving you the finger. It's beautiful, I love it, and for that alone, I think this deserves a quarter moon rating. Next up we have 2006's Skinwalkers. This action monster film follows a young boy who's half human, half werewolf, and is prophesied to carry something in his blood to finally end the werewolf curse forever. And as a result, you have two different werewolf packs kind of coming after him. You have one that's trying to save him and keep him safe because they want to end the werewolf curse. They hate it, they're miserable, and they want a normal human life. Now on the flip side of that, you got another pack that is just this motorcycle gang of werewolves who love the power of being these supernatural creatures, and they want to kill the kid. This is another severely underrated film, and look, I get why. It's not great, you know, the acting, the story, it's questionable. Now, I have questionable taste in movies, so I love it. I think it's a really, really fun story, and it has some of the coolest looking werewolves that I have ever seen. Every werewolf has their own unique look, still retaining a lot of their human features. Stan Winston Studio designed the costumes and makeup, and they did a stellar job. They did suits for most of the werewolf body, but then they combined that with these multi-piece silicone makeups, which allowed for the actors' movements and emotions to shine through that makeup. And then on top of that, the werewolf body suits weren't full body suits. They were, you know, maybe halves or whatever, because these werewolves, they're kind of human. They retain some of that humanity. So they wear clothes, which allowed them to still have movement, making a super realistic, cool werewolves that don't have like Batman neck. In my opinion, this is a perfect modern take on a fully sentient werewolf that's fully aware, so there's no shock that this should have a full moon rating. Next up, we have 2011's Red Riding Hood. I have always loved the idea of taking the classic tale of Little Red Riding Hood and modernizing it, giving it werewolf, you know, features instead of just like a big wolf that eats grandma. No, seriously, I had this costume back in the day and I made it my entire personality for a while. So when I heard about this movie, I was excited and I was ready to experience a beautiful film in the cinema. But it was 2011, okay? We're like 3 years post-Twilight, and we had the same director as Twilight. So why I thought I was gonna get something cool, I don't really know. I live in my own delusional little world, and I like it there, and honestly, I should stay there, because this is what we got. It's just a big wolf, same as Twilight. And I know someone is in the comments right now going, well, that's how the lore portrayed werewolves. Quite frankly, I don't give a damn. I don't want lore. I want a fantastical, creative creature that blurs the line between human being and lupine animal, and I didn't get that. So I'm gonna poo-poo on this big lazy wolf and I'm gonna give it a new moon rating. Next up, we have the TV series The Order that ran from 2019 to 2020. A TV series that a lot of you have requested that I feature in this series follows college student Jack Morton as he joins this like magical secret society, and then he also joins like a group of werewolves, but these two groups, they kind of low-key hate each other, and they've been in this like forever war. Now, on paper, this sounds cool. We've got magicians, we've got werewolves, we've got legendary werewolf actress Catherine Isabel, that's right, Ginger herself. But I'm gonna be real honest, this show and this werewolf design fell flat for me. I know I just disappointed a lot of you, and I'm sorry.
I'm the captain now.
I didn't care for this. I wanted to, but I didn't. The story was just kind of all over the place, couldn't get into. And the werewolf design and transformation is all CGI. Now, I commend them for making it a bipedal, on two legs werewolf and not just a big wolf. But there's something about the face. It distracts me. When I see this face, I see Splinter from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Anybody else? Maybe it's the prominent whiskers? I'll go ahead and give this one a crescent moon because at least there was some creativity and it wasn't just a wolf, but this wolf ain't it for me. Next up, we're going to talk about the TV series Wizards of Waverly Place that ran from 2007 to 2012. When this Disney series starring a family of wizards came out, I was definitely too old to be watching this. I was in college, but there was something about this show that was so charming that I just really, really got into it. There's a pretty big storyline about a werewolf, and I just always really liked the way that lycanthropes were depicted in this silly little kid's show. The facial design is very basic. We have small prosthetics in the brow, the nose, and the ears. We of course have fangs and claws, but what I really like about this design is the hair. Look at that neck. Now that is a werewolf. Despite what you think a werewolf looks like, I think we can all agree that they should be hairy. Except you, Argenteutin, you didn't get the memo. But hair, they should be hairy, just full of hair. And this successfully gets that memo across. I just think this is an easy but effective and adorable werewolf design, and as a result, I'm giving it a full moon rating. Up next, we have 2007's Blood and Chocolate. As a huge fan of the Annette Curtis Claus book, I was over the moon when this movie was announced. And I shouldn't have been. I should have known after reading the book what kind of lycanthrope that this movie was gonna get, but you know what? Delusional Tracy struck again. And as a result, I was once again disappointed when we got wolves. Just wolves, no cool transformations, no cool designs, just regular old wolves. Now, despite them getting some extra bonus points for using real wolves instead of just CGI, this is still getting a New Moon rating because of the boring snooze fest of a design and a transformation scene that just consists of a swoosh of color. Rounding out episode 4, we have 2007's Trick or Treat. One of my favorite Halloween movies of all time, this anthology film takes several stories and weaves them together with the cutest dang horror villain that I've ever seen. Each story is fun in its own right and really captures that magic of Halloween night, but there was one story in particular that caught me by surprise with these girls that are getting ready for a Halloween party. Carefully picking out costumes, talking about boys, you think these are just some average girls who are preparing for a Halloween party in the woods where they're gonna get drunk surrounded by a fire, but there's so much more than that. Under the light of the full moon, they shed their overpriced costumes and their skin to reveal that they are werewolves. This is probably one of my favorite werewolf scenes in cinema. It takes you by complete surprise, and the werewolf makeup and effects are top notch. Sure, there are a couple of CGI moments, but the practical effects far outweigh that, and they are beautifully executed. The werewolf design itself is very on par with werewolves that you see in like The Howling and Bad Moon, which I really like. It's gross in all the right ways, and there should be absolutely no surprise that this gets a full moon rating. Cheers, ladies and nerds, to another werewolf rating design episode. I love this because nerding out about werewolves, it's what I do. It's what I live for. Now, that being said, I did wait over a year to film the 4th part of this series, which I am ashamed of, and I apologize. But let me know in the comments below if you would like to see a part 5, and I promise we won't wait another year to see that. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so when new videos hit the channel, you'll be notified. And as always, thank y'all for watching, and I'll catch you nerds later!